Hi, Muchismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you found it helpful. Pass it on if you believe someone else will benefit from it. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, I've been away for a while, but I'm not going anywhere. Cheers. Been away for a while, but I'm not going anywhere. This is something that it goes beyond being compelled to do. It's just something that, being awakened as an empath and being grateful, thankful, having that gratitude, and looking back at people who are yet involved, engaged, entrapped in this sadistic, demonic situationships, relationships, family dynamic, you name it, and seeing that that was you. Because being awakened and out of it, you can see vividly what you were entrapped in. That's why we understand that people who are entrapped in this, you can't just grab them by the arm and say, let's go. They'll kick and scream. They'll call you the problem. We know all these things, so the best way we know how to come and attack this situation is by bringing awareness, and hopefully it awakens you and the light will come on like it did for us. I had a subscriber. I don't know if she was a subscriber or someone just like snoops in and whatnot from time to time, or visits. I'll just use that word. I won't say snoop, because I want to have a level of integrity when I talk about these things, such as people who call you narcissists. In this case, called me a narcissist because of all things, guys. She could not hear the volume. but, but I don't mean to laugh, but that was very comical to some degree, but it was very telling too, because this could very well be a battered or an abused empath that really just does not know how to identify what a real narcissist is, or what a narcissist is who's disordered at the core. There are just some things that an awakened empath just knows. It's just second nature. The more we've educated ourselves, we can spot narcissists from afar if they're just having a conversation. If we're not in it, we can determine a narcissist based on just energetically. We can determine that because they don't give good eye contact. They are very twitchy. They are very egotistical. They just, it's just so many little things that most of society passes off as an awakened, and that's the key word, an awakened empath. Someone who's awakened, you're in tune with your environment and everything in it. So therefore, the things that they've been doing in times past, sorry guys, the bees, I think they like the fragrance I wear, but in times past, they would wow, got a whole bunch of them. I guess I should start wearing I guess it's Gucci 1875 or something. They're just swarming after me, but we'll get past it. I get along with bees. I don't want you guys to think I'm very, very impartial to them, but I don't want them swarming around my head. But she made a comment. She said, I knew you was a narcissist because the volume, basically, I guess she's saying, I don't want people to hear me, and so I'm hiding something. Anyways, not to get on a tangent with that, I just want to give a shout out to them, because you want to make a mention, whether dishonorable or honorable mention, to these commenters, because you're gonna have them. The more and more and more attractive as an empath you become, meaning your content, the more people are tuning in and listening, and they're watching the numbers too. Narcissists are watching the numbers. That's why I know at 2,000 subscribers, if I get 200 subscribers, you got to understand, out of almost 250,000 people, you have to understand, you have to take some of this negative energy with the positive, because these people come here and they lurk and they observe our behavior, our content, and they know that we know. And that panic sets in. They have to offset the numbers. They have to persuade people their way. And if they can't do anything but dissuade people to stay in tune with you, then that's what they'll do. And they do this in life, not just on YouTube or content creator platforms. I heard a baby. Oh, she has a newborn baby, my neighbor. I forgot. So the thing is, I've been away, but I'm going nowhere. I had misplaced my mics, and went and ordered new ones from Amazon. I ordered the minis this time. You barely can see them. So I'm trying them out, and hopefully you can hear me. I'll go back and I'll play this, obviously. But this is for the lady. I got some new mics because of you. No, I did. I got them because I misplaced them, the old ones. And I've always mentioned when people say, I can't hear your volume. One guy say the volume is garbage on here, and I understood. But when this lady came and said I was a narcissist because she couldn't hear the volume, it was really comical, and it was telling. And hopefully, if she is, and I want to have a grain of what do you call it, a level of consideration and grace here. If you are in fact possibly an unawakened empath, an awakened or an empath that's really hurt and just you're temperamental, because when I first awakened, I was calling people narcissists that it was just like I was trigger happy. And so when you're hurt, it tends to be a knee-jerk effect. And if you are an empath in some way, shape, or form, I hope you get the true education and insight you need, and just being able to identify things. Quit pushing away sound advice, sound information, and gravitating to that matrix type of mindset and the advice you're getting from the naysayers that are actually keeping you away from the truth. And so I misplaced those mics, ordered new ones. So I have two sets of mics. So I would hope that I'm able to get more content more frequently, because a lot of times I would want to do videos in my home, and for the fact that I got my mics and the equipment in my vehicle, too lazy and tired and exhausted, all of those things, to go back down and get it. And so I would write it down so I wouldn't forget it, and then the next day I began my ritual of work, 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 and just kind of it loses itself, that video for that day. And and any of you guys who know the day-to-day grind, this is not excuses. This is just explanations to help you understand that things do happen in life. I won't stop. This won't stop anything. I've been away, but I'm not going anywhere. And well, that's not really the reason why I haven't made videos in and of itself. I was just emphasizing that I had misplaced my mics, and when I got the new ones, I had planned on resuming, because I want to give you guys good volume. But more importantly, or equally as important as to why I've been away, is because I blew a concrete job. I messed a concrete job up, a sidewalk, and it was disastrous because the guys didn't show up. And so you can pretty much imagine, and you guys do concrete, it was 95 foot by 4 foot slab. And looking back at that, I probably could have leveled that out and screeded it myself if I hadn't panicked and got a little bit overwhelmed with the fact that when the truck came, the guys wasn't there. So the homeowner had to assist me in many ways. Even the guy in the truck got off and helped me. And you know it's bad when the truck shows up and no workers are there. The workers are supposed to precede the truck. If they're not there, then there's a problem. And so for weeks we grinded. We did a whole bunch of things. I even fabricated just a grinder and welded, I guess you would call a dock or handle situation where I could stand up, thereby leaving the grinder down at floor level. And so essentially it would hold the grinder in place, and I could operate it from a standing position. One day maybe I'll do a screenshot and put it on my channel. But it worked effectively, but it was too far gone, this concrete job. And instead of aborting mission and just pulling everything out and starting over, I guess because of the traumatic experience of it not going well, we assumed the position of trying to repair it. The hours I put into this, weeks I put into this, it was just really, really insanity. and it beat my body up very bad, as well as the homeowner. Tensions flew. He had attitude on a regular basis, and I even want to emphasize that when tension rises, that will bring a narcissist to the cream to the top, as we use that term uh, in concrete pouring. It's a beautiful thing when the cream comes to the top in concrete, but when you see people's attitudes under tension, this is one way you can tell if a person really has strong narcissistic traits, which is probably most of us. We very well become unhinged. Uh, we behave uncharacteristic and whatnot. But a lot of times, I would believe that an empath, we pull our stuff together because we have what you call a conscious awareness of, we don't want to offend anyone. We don't want to hurt somebody needlessly, callously, or unnecessarily. We will defend ourselves. We will speak our truth because we're truth tellers. So I guess my bigger point is, I began to discover this homeowner had a very deep-seated need for validation and approval. He didn't get that coming up, I guess, because he would do certain things and it would be like, quick question, I did this, that, and the other, because I would arrive days later after I'd taken a hiatus. My body was beat up. I'd take 2-3 days off. I'd go back over there, among my other projects too. As a contractor, you move around because only way you're gonna survive. And so days later, I would come over. As soon as I pull up, he comes out like a little kid, and he'd be like, quick question. Not really even considerate of my emotions or my mood. Wouldn't even pay attention to that, because we pay attention to people's moods and we really move accordingly, especially awakened empath. We really stay connected to the aura around us and the energy around us. So this guy obviously didn't care about nothing. He had his nose in the sand, and he was just, this tunnel vision he had. And so it was all about him, and he would often remark or make a comment or ask me. But he asked me how this looked, or how something he had done looked. Almost like he really was playing the passive role. But at the same time, he would be telling me how it looks as he's asking me. And so it's undeniable when you see this stuff happening. So I had to deal with that for 3-4 weeks. Uh, and the job itself, which was a nightmare. So I inevitably ended up ripping everything out, and I poured it brand new, and I think I just finished it. The day the truck came Friday. And so here it is Sunday. I'm just really just out getting back to where I want to be, which is right in front of this camera talking to you guys. And I want to be able to do it consistently, and we'll see what happens. But these things that happen in life, they don't break us, they make us who we are. Empaths, I want you to be encouraged. You will, however, deal with people in the workplace or wherever you're employed at. And you'll see these behaviors come out. Don't get distressed. Although we got in one kind of engagement, verbal engagement, because what he would do is use me for his verbal punching bag when he would get his little moves, and I allowed him to do it because I understand what kind of energy I'm dealing with. I messed up, I accept it, but what you're not going to do is ragdoll me around. And so that's pretty much what I told him. I say, you won't speak to me uh, in a loud tone. You won't disrespect me as a man. You will talk to me with some respect. I can understand you're angry, you're frustrated. You have every right to that. I'm not going to take that away from you, but you're not going to tear me down for the duration of me over here trying to assist in fixing this problem. And so when you're calm and you talk to these people and you make logical sense, a lot of times the narcissist disintegrates because your peace has disturbed their chaos in a way that they can't understand. And you'll see the real adolescence comes to the top. You'll see them retreat almost like a little child. And they'll be looking off, like they'll be nodding their head in approval, like, and you want to believe they're having a moment of rationale, but it really isn't that. You're making sense out of their nonsense, and that's what they're detecting that came over. And so from that day to this one, we haven't had that type of intense engagement. And what I did days later after he had blew up, and this is days after we had began to rip out and was uh, going on to prepare the form to re-pour. So this was shortly before the truck came, maybe on a Tuesday or whatever, and that was when we engaged in this reprimand. And I reached out to him maybe that day or the next day through a text, and I say, I apologize, and in me telling you not to talk to me disrespectful, I began yelling at you. That's not okay. So for that, I apologize. And so I did that, being not the bigger man, but or the better man, being the man that I am, and that prides himself in my own self-worth and integrity. I was doing two things. I was showing him that it's okay to apologize, and I was also showing him that I'm not harboring any hostility. And see, when people think that you're holding hostility, they actually get a rise out of that, because what they've done is rented a space in your head for free. No vacancies, guys. So this video is really just, about me misplacing my mics and being away because I was knee deep in a big mess that I had made, not purposely, just because my, employees, they wasn't my normal employees, guys that I had recruited probably days before the concrete truck was supposed to come. So it was very touch and go. I mean, that wasn't a guarantee they would be reliable, and of course they wasn't. And so I ended up out in nature, guys. I don't know, strange, by the way. So I really wanted to get back here and just to talk to you guys about, I've been away, but I'm not going anywhere, because even off camera, there are things that we all, empaths and chosen ones, content creators alike, we have to contend with day-to-day life. But what I believe you must do, and you have to do this for yourself, and I'm encouraging you to do this basically on a regular basis, you have to not shy away from being informed, being educated, and being in tune on a daily, regular basis. You have to continue to do this to the point where it becomes second nature, and it's not as intense mentally to you. It doesn't bother you as much to have to approach videos like this, because if that's what you're still feeling, you taking the road of, oh man, I'm not listening to that stuff every day, I'm getting burnt out on that I do get, because it's becoming very heavy. It's a heavy weight to bear when you become awakened, and you really would rather not have to dig deeper and to stay in tune and connected to this stuff. And then when you get past that phase, if you have to take a day or two away, I already said this years ago in a video, take that time away. What you really don't want to do is go away from this information and stay away, and thereby allowing narcissistic energy to creep in and capture you and your attention again, and you'll go right back down that rabbit hole. So if you need to take a little time away, do that, because you have families, you have a lot of things that are going on that sometimes you hear in our videos that are relatable to what you really got going on right now in your life, and that might cause you a tad bit of trauma, because sometimes when the truth is presented to us smack dab in the face, we actually retreat. It's either fight or flight. So we retreat from it. We don't want to hear it, and because we don't hear it, we think it's not happening. Sorry guys, I'm normally okay, but I'm out in nature, and things just attract themselves to me, as it do a lot of people. So forgive me for that. It's a beautiful Sunday, by the way. It's a beautiful Sunday out here. Slight breeze, but it's probably around 70 degrees. I'm gonna go do some lawns and stuff, and just relax for a little while. When I say relax, not work as hard and as intense as I normally do. And I'm hoping to do that consistently, because you don't get time back, and your health, your strength, your sleep, all of that stuff gets lost in the day-to-day hustle and bustle. And by the way, tomorrow I'll be 55. It doesn't seem like a year has passed since my last birthday. Um, I probably won't celebrate it like I did last year. I kind of went a little bit harder. If that's hard as I can go. With my little crown and different things that my children bought me. They bought me the sunglasses with the crown, so that's the reason why I put that on, paying homage to them. But tomorrow I'll be 55 years old. My neighbor, which is right next door to me, and this is actually I'm in his yard, shared driveway. He is 48 today. Yeah, 48 today. So I didn't know. I forgot we had birthdays almost right together, a day apart. So in the comments, wish me a happy birthday, guys, because it's a blessing for me to be here, man. In light of what I've gone through in my life, broken foot, several narcissistic relationships, and different things like that, and just it's just always a blessing to be able to be here in the way that you are here, cognitively able to know who you are and being grateful. That being said, guys, bless.